Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome again to War Thunder, everybody's favourite game, or at least my favourite game recently to spend more money on than I probably should do. And this time I've come up with the KV-1B, the Tier 3 German heavy tank, based on the KV-1, but it's got a German-made gun on it, essentially the same gun as the Panther, and at a 5.0 battle rating, whether it's arcade, realistic, or simulator. This thing is pretty fearful. It's a bit of a beast. I've avoided the temptation in sim battles to stick a Russian flag or Russian emblem down the side of it to try and fool enemy teams, so I've made it clear that I am a German tank so they know to shoot at me, because I'm a nice person like that. And I know the turret's got a hell of a lot of armour on it anyway. Believe it's 120mm thick all round, so let's see how it does. Driving out this one with Barbs, there he is in his Tiger H1. Immediately starting the game by doing some deforestation. Barbs giving me a little love tap there for some reason, known only to himself. And let's skip ahead to the first point where we reach the battle. So this is the Poland map. This, I would say, is my second favourite map. And we're out in a simulator battle today. So this is the full-on simulator event. So there's no friendly or enemy markers in this. Now, I put a couple of arcade tank videos up on the channel before, but really, I can't play arcade anymore. It just doesn't compare to the sort of tension you get in simulator battle. Somebody can pop round a corner and just fire off around at you and you have no idea that they're there in simulator battle. And bang, right on cue. What have we got up there? T-34-85. A little bit of the replay bug coming in again, but one shot from the 75mm cannon. And he's saying goodbye to this world. So he's in a medium tank, he'll get a respawn. The KV-1B is a heavy tank, so you're not going to get a respawn in this, so it's one go only, so you better make it count. You absolutely don't get that sort of surprise hit or drama in arcade battles because you can basically see people coming from a mile off. You know them when they're behind a mountain. And that, to me, pretty much makes simulator battles now the only way to go in War Thunder tanks. It'd be nice if they were sim tanks only, but the spate of bombers catching you when you're just driving out of your spawn point, that's really slowed down now. That's not so much of a problem as it was when this mode first came in. The only real problem now is that you can only drive the set tanks that the mode allows you, which is fair enough, but when you get to those higher level tanks, that the high tier 4s and the 5s, a lot of people don't have those. So you get limited matchmaking, or sometimes you just can't even get in at all. But I'm talking all over this, so taking out the first tank. As we'll come to see in this, T-34-85s need to fear this tank. This tank is fearful for T-34-85s. Oh, he's dead. That's another thing, you can't tell unless you're very, very observant on the combat messages whether a tank is dead or not, and that's something that Barbs unfortunately struggles with because he actually sits quite a long way away from his monitor. I probably do the bad thing, bad for my eyesight, and I sit right up close to the monitor so I can see typically when I've killed somebody or not. I'm quite often telling Barbs whether he's killed somebody or not. He quite often doesn't actually know. And I'm saying, no mate, you've killed him. You don't need to shoot him again. Of which I'm sure he is eternally grateful. And there he is. As I say, this is on the Poland map. I don't think anybody needed that wall. I hope they didn't. Certainly nobody needed the rest of that house anymore. And there's a T-34 just up the road here on the right that's been giving Barbs a few issues, firing at him and causing him some annoyance. So I've just said, sod it, I'm going to go up and take him out. First shot causing damage, doesn't kill him. He's backing up now. He's bouncing shots, and he knows, bang! The T-34 murder spree. And it's about to continue with this poor boy up here. One shot in, cripple him. He takes a shot, seems to blow over the lamppost. He's trying to tickle me. Two can play that game, mate. And the second shot. Oh dear. Lots of smoking husks of T-34s around here. It's not a pretty sight. Driving through the artillery there because artillery does not matter to strong Soviet, sorry, German tank. There's another one. It's like a plague of them. Oh, there's two of them. So that first hit was a critical. This guy wants a critical as well. He's had it. First tank in front. He's having none of this. He's backing away. He's trying to back away as well, but no. Gonna kill your engine, mate, so you can't go anywhere. He's firing in vain. And that's all over. Unfortunately, no big explosion immediately on that one. Not with the shot. Oh, he's bouncing again. He knows he's in trouble here. The explosion on that last one there came with the engine blowing up. Another hit on him. Just backing up. Tempts him out. He's about to fire. But I'll get there first. It's not a good day to be a T-34-85. And I'm going to skip the next bit because I basically just dance back and forwards. Right, enough of that frivolity. It's time to get back to some manly action here. Oh dear. What's that? Oh, he's shot, he's missed. He's coming for revenge for his 5 dead brothers. Turret's having a bit of a spasm. Bounced again. This is feeling dangerous. Oh dear. Finally puts one right through the side of my tank, and another one just for good measure, and he's basically killed the rest of my crew. Well, the T-34's got their revenge. And the replay ended there, so I don't know the final scores of that match. I think we did in fact lose that one, but 5 kills, can't complain. And now on to the second KV, the KV-85. Actually a stopgap for the Russians between the KV-1 and the IS-1, the Joseph Stalin 1. It basically has the same gun and pretty much the same turret as the IS-1. It doesn't quite have as good as shells. It doesn't have the high penetration APCR shell that the IS-1 has. But at 5.0 battle rating, it's pretty deadly, and it doesn't really need it. So I was driving out this one again with Barbs in his number 66 tank this time. Obviously this is a Russian tank, not a captured KV. Always like to start out with a bit of sad deforestation. And this one is the Eastern Europe map. I would say until the Reichstag map comes in hopefully in patch 1.49, and that might take over as my favourite map, but this is my favourite map on which to play tanks. There's plenty of countryside, lots of woods to go around in, and there's a large town area, and I personally prefer, and it's that T-34-85, what's he doing? He's trying to take us on the inside. Personally prefer the city maps. There's a lot of solid cover, and I hate to say this, but you really don't see the effect of the people using the low graphics settings to cut out all of the trees and spot you when you shouldn't be spottable. Gives you some good solid cover that is going to be there on anybody's setup, regardless of whether they're using the highest level detail like I am. I'm lucky enough to have a computer which can cope with beyond movie settings at 2560 by 1440, although I record these videos at 1920 by 1080. And we spotted, or Barbs in fact, has spotted a few tigers out in the distance, and they're quite easy to spot. So we start trying to take a few pot shots at them. We're both in KV-85s for this one. Got a Sturmovik going in at them as well. And it's difficult, I mean, these are low velocity shells. Nowhere near as high velocity as the German gun on the KV-1B, and I'm sort of saying to Barbs, you know, we're playing the Germans at their game there. They have the high velocity long range guns. We're going to lose that one. So we head off into our capture point to defend that and hope to catch the tigers as they come round. So skip ahead a little bit, and we have hit our capture point, and now we're looking to take up defensive positions on the other side of the river. So we spawn north of the river, cross the bridge to south of the river. I've decided this is going to be my spot because there's a nice little gap between these two houses here, and I can back my arse up. And my lovely little bucket that you get on the back of the KV-85, I can back my arse and my bucket up to this house here so nobody can shoot me in the arse. And there goes Barbs, demonstrating the fetching of the bucket on the KV-85 and the amazing bucket physics as well as it wobbles about on the back there. So the last battle in the KV-1B was a pretty quick affair actually, pretty lightning fast for a sim battle. This one wasn't quite the same. Barbs unfortunately didn't have a great match in the last one, but he had a much better match in this one. Still kind of slow paced, but skipped it forwards a little bit. Decided to make a move because I can see some fire going on from a Sherman and from my right over here. So I know something's got to be approaching our cap point, and there's no point in sitting still anymore waiting for them to come. They have come, but not from the point that we were hoping them they would arrive. Spotted him just a second ago and I decided I'm going to pop round this house and take the shot from around here, and it's a wild tiger. If you want to kill the tiger, aim right here, right hand side just above the track, or the left hand side of the tank, right hand side as you're looking at it. There's ammo right behind there. One thing I have found in simulator battles, and it's kind of an obvious thing to say I guess, but it really is good to know the weak spots and where to shoot the tanks that you're coming up to face. Bobs and I have been doing some of the higher level simulator battles recently where we've been coming up against T-54s, and it definitely helps to know where to shoot them because they are dangerous tanks. Obviously at this level the Tiger's a very dangerous tank as well. Somebody's still shooting at him. Either that or there was another Tiger with him. I can't see that, but big explosion behind the house there. When you're in sim battle and you've got no HUD elements sort of messing up and filling up your view, you can really appreciate the aesthetics of this game. And the amount of time just kind of put into making this game what it is. It obviously has its flaws, everybody knows that. But you can still have a good time in this game. And Sim Tanks is one of the best times that you can have in it. Just panning around here, looking for enemies. I've called to Barbs to come and meet me now. There's a big tree ghosts through my tank there. So around about this point the Barbs has noticed somebody up on the hill. I believe it's another Tiger and he's taking some pot shots at him. I'm trying to spot him, get a few shots in myself. But I wasn't looking in quite the right place. I'm looking at around about the right direction now. And I can see now where he's firing. And I turn around just in the right time to see, bang! Barbs takes out that Tiger on the hill with some great shooting. Really good shooting there. I caught the explosion in the scope view. And we're going to press up now. We've decided we've killed a bunch of them near our spawn point and near our capture point. And I've seen there's some fire coming from near that building there, so what is that? And there's a whole bunch of activity going on over the other side of the river there. It's a wild Stug appears, a Stug G. Putting some shots into him, causing some damage. As this tank doesn't have the APCR, the composite rigid shell, it's a bit more difficult to penetrate the front of a Stug on this. To know exactly where to hit him as well. He's hit me, but he's bounced. Barbs has zeroed in on him as well. One more hit. and Barbs dealt the killing blow. So it's 2 tigers and a stug between us, and we're going to press on to their capture point. That is of course the way you win this game. Oh, there's a tiger. And big explosions. There's a tug of war going on here between a tiger and a 76 Sherman. Barbs has seen him as well. The Sherman's firing at him. This tiger is in a world of hurt. He's just got so many people firing at him. Not a chance. We're just going to put shots into him until he's dead. He's on fire. And that final shot finishes him off. So that for us is KV-85's 3, Tigers 0. And it's time to start pressing up through the town. Come on Barbs, let's go. There will be times that I will spot tanks and Barbs won't spot them, but despite the fact that he sits quite a long way back from his screen, as I mentioned earlier, Barbs has got a really good eye for spotting tanks on this, and that's one of the reasons why I like to squad up with him. The other being he's my mate in real life, outside of the game. As with sim battles, as you should be, always paying attention to your environment, always looking about, scanning the horizon. There could be an enemy tank lurking behind any of these corners. Any of these buildings. You just can't trust it in sim battle. If this were arcade, there'd be markers popping up everywhere, but it's not. And Barbs has seen somebody, and I would not have spotted this. Just see the corner of him to the left of that building there. And now I've zeroed in on him. One shot. Got a nice little lucky clip on the side of his tank there, and my shell bounced up inside and killed most of his crew, and that took him out. And that was a Panzer III, I believe. One of the ones with spaced armour down the side. So that's 5 kills between us now. For an arcade game that would be not so great, but that's fairly respectable. Fairly respectable for a sim battle. You know that if you're killing that many tanks as a squad, you're making a decent contribution. Achtung Panzer! Always get a little bit concerned when you see those dead husks of tanks. We're going to skip ahead a bit here. Lots of enemy tanks are being killed by our teammates in the meantime. We had a good team on this one. This was one of the sim battle events that was evenly balanced. You do find that some sim battle events really heavily favour one side. Quite often it is the Allies, to be fair. But in this match, you know, we've gone in this match in Tigers and did what, you know, had good matches. And this time we've gone in KV-85s and Russian tanks and had good matches. So around the tier 3, just perhaps breaking into the high level tier 3s, maybe just breaking into the tier 4s. I think that's amongst where you get your best matches. We've managed to creep up through the town, all the way up to the enemy's capture point. One thing I did notice going through the town, so we'd driven the IS-1 before this, didn't have amazing matches, so I didn't want to put those on the channel. But this is an IS-1 just ahead up there, you know, just on cue. But we did notice that the KV-85, it's not very fast, but it actually feels, for what it is, pretty manoeuvrable. It turns quite well on the spot, and it can get through tight gaps quite easily, much better than you'd expect. This is a good point for us to pull into and start capping here. That is the only way we're likely to win this match in any kind of quick fashion. The enemy team are heavily outnumbered here, and we will see later that one of them's actually heading over to our cap point to cap it. It's a Tiger. They're few and far between now, so we're unlikely to actually see any more enemy tanks, so we've decided just to go and camp instead. You do actually get a pretty decent amount of points for capping in any game mode, and regardless of whether it's tanks or planes. Certainly in airfield domination you get a good number of cap points for landing and capturing a runway. Another Sherman over there in the background as our IS-1 is heading back into the town. We had a 105mm howitzer Sherman in this match that was putting the hurt on the enemies pretty well. Nice explosion there in front of him as well. We're just sitting here waiting for the capture to happen. We can see already that an enemy, and we're pretty certain it's a Tiger because he's been killing people over by our spawn point and capture point. Just about captured on this. We're about to leave. That thick old tree says, no mate, no Barbs, you're not coming through here. Zone captured, let's get out of here. We were thinking that we would go back to our base and try and take on the Tiger that's capping our area, but we've capped their area now, so the match is essentially over. The ticket counter is just going down rapidly now. Tiger, he did his best, tried to win it for their team, but it was all over by the time we reached their capture point. Good match in the KV-85. So let's check out the results for this one. So you got second place for the team. Barbs is a little bit further down. 3 kills for me, 2 kills for Barbs, and I believe 2 assists for Barbs as well. And I got at least 1 assist in this. Overall, KV tanks, good fun. Hope you enjoyed that video. Catch you next time.